Hello and welcome to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, where you feed your brain. I am Denasha Harrison, and thank you for joining me. This is a show that comes on from 8 to 9 on the Intellectual Radio platform. Thank you all for the support that you continue to give, not only to my show, but to this platform. If it's not my show that you really dig, there's other shows that you can always tune in to and get your point across, get your questions asked or answered, shall I say. Ask the questions that you may have about what's going on in your community, what's going on around you, whether you're inside the Chicagoland area, whether you're inside the city limits, outside the Chicagoland area, from coast to coast, doesn't matter. If you got questions, I'm guaranteeing that there's a show on this platform that can answer it. So I came back on the radio last week, talked a little bit about my surgery, gave a little bit of history about that, talked a little bit about politics, and I feel like doing the same again today. May not be before you long, but I just wanted to share. So again, for those of you who support, continue to support, thank you for doing so. You can always find this show live here on Intellectual Radio, afterwards, Intellectual Radio, YouTube, Facebook. So we try and hit all those social media platforms. For all of you who continue to support me, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Today's show is brought to you by AliveShoes.com, Shy Cali Collections, which is a shoe company that I have. If you want to know more, 224-800-9719, from classic dress shoes to athletic shoes. I got you covered. If you have a shoe in mind that you want to have designed, hit me up, let me know, and then we'll collaborate and work together on that as well. Also, the number one sponsor that's always been rocking with me, up and going, cleaning services, Anthony McMath. Thank you for the continued support from the northern Indiana area to the Chicagoland area in the south. He's doing this thing, continuing to take care of people one bag at a time, one piece at a time. So again, Unc, thank you so much for all the support that you've given. For more information, you can always call 219-200-2400. There is another number that's out there as well. I can give that to you if you call 224-800-9719. So again, up and going cleaning services, one piece at a time. Everything from, banquet hall services to individual services as far as your wardrobe. He got you covered. So we're going to always shout him out because he's always supporting. Thank you very much. So let's get into it. Last week I talked about the campaign. Again, Dalton has an election April 1st. I'm running for trustee. Cassandra Hobson Jordan's running for mayor. So a lot of people have a lot of opinions about how things are going in the village. And I'm glad that we're bringing awareness to the process. I actually talked to a gentleman in the store today, and we were talking about the politics in Dalton, being involved on the local level. And before I left, he said, yeah, because we really need to get Trump out of office. So it kind of missed me. I'm like, well, we're on the local level when it comes to politics. We're not on the national level. But he did understand that there's a mayoral election coming up. And so it kind of caught me. At first, I was like, yeah, he doesn't really know about the type of politics that we're involved in. But then it dawned on me. Time after time again, I talk about local politics affecting our lives on every level. So in a sense, he kind of made sense. What we do on this level affects, politics on the national level. If we get involved now about what's going on in our communities, eventually it'll affect what's going on the state level, regional levels, national or federal levels of government. Your Congress people represent you, no matter what political party you are. You have to understand that they are a representation of you, and as long as you allow your vote to be cast or your voice to be heard, then they're beholden to the things that you care about the most. But initially, we have to care, because if we don't care, then that agenda is hijacked by other people that have other interests that may not represent you and me. So it was just interesting how that was recognized in the moment of having conversations about what's going on in the village of Dalton. People continue to reach out about um, about why I'm running. I'm going to continue to state why I run, and I'm going to continue to talk about the different things that matter to me most. Um, I'm running because I want to represent the people. I'm running because I don't have an agenda outside of what's important. And to me, what's important is not only highlighting the things that need to be changed in the village, but uh, coming to that village to bring solutions to some of those concerns. One of the main concerns that I've run into is concerns about taxes, concerns about um, what the tax dollars are getting the people that are paying so much taxes. Um, I'll continue to say that's a great question. We all need to find out together. I don't have all the answers. I don't have most of the answers because I've never sat in the seat to be a trustee in Dalton. But one thing that I do know is that if you vote for me, we can find out together. I understand that I'm not running for the mayor. There's only one mayor that will win between the people that are running. Um, you got Hobson Jordan, you got House. One of them are going to win that seat. They have to work with the trustees that are still in their seats. Now, for me, it's a little different because I am running against other trustees, and should I win a seat, I have to work with those who I'm running against. It's not that those who I'm running against will just leave. Some of those people will still have seats. And some people have asked, how do I feel about that? I don't feel any negative way about it. I might not have the same views. I might not have the same history as those who have been in those seats for several years in some cases, but I'm willing to work with them. Whether you're willing to work with me or not, I feel that it's important to get past what you may feel is personal about um, me, your opinions about why I'm running. At the end of the day, when the people speak, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I'm hoping that the people punch number seven when it's time to April 1st to help me win the seat. But if I do not win, I'm not going to take it personal. If I do not win, I'm not going to stop doing the things that I feel are important in my community. I'm not going to stop fighting for the things that I'm continuing to find out about concerning the needs of the village. And I've said to some people um, today as well and before, if you don't live in the village at all, that doesn't mean that you can't help. Of course, you can't cast a vote for whoever's running um, in Dalton. Even if you live in the Chicagoland area, um, a neighboring suburb, we got a lot of elections going on. But I'm not asking for people to not care if they don't live in the village. I'm not asking for people to not pay attention if they don't live in the village. Contrary to that, even if you don't live in a village, you need to know what's going on around you. If you're in a neighboring village, if you're in Thornton Township somewhere, pay attention because what's good for Dalton is good for the township and vice versa. Even in Chicago, what's good for Chicago is good for Dalton. What's good for Dalton is good for Chicago. So a lot of people will be like, "Hey, I don't live in Dalton, but I hear that there's a lot of stuff going on." Well, that's true. That doesn't mean that you cannot get involved. So even if you don't live in the village, um, even if you cannot cast a vote, that does not mean that you cannot. That doesn't mean that you should not care. Shall I say? Uh, why? Because indirectly, we are all connected. Indirectly, we care about the same things. What's going on in the village is going on in other areas, not only in the Chicagoland area, but around the world. They're the same type of situations that are going on. So even if you don't live in the village, but you want to help, then I ask that you reach out so you can do so. Some people feel contrary to that. Some people feel like, hey, again, if you're not in the village, then you shouldn't have anything to say about it. You shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't care about what's going on over there. That's not your business. And again, I disagree wholeheartedly. Just because you don't live in a village does not mean that you can't help. People who align themselves with me about certain ideas or a certain vision with Dalton, that doesn't mean that we all agree on the same things. Uh, People continue to ask me what my views are on how Cassandra Hobson Jordan does what she does. You have to ask her. Uh, my opinion is this: I believe that she's passionate about some of the things that are going on in the village. I believe that she feels that she needs to speak to these things in the way that she does, only in the way that she does. So, if you want to know about why she has done something, the way that she has done something, I encourage you to reach out to her. Yes, we are on the same ticket. We are on the Rebuilding Dalton campaign slate together. Yes, we are. That does not mean that we're going to do things the same way all the time. And again, for those who are asking me to denounce her or speak against her, I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. That's not the kind of politics that I'm going to get into. I didn't do that against Jason. I didn't do that against Tiffany. I'm not going to do that against Cassandra. And I'm not running for mayor. I'm running for trustee. I didn't do that against all the other trustees too. A lot of people say, well, you said Jason's name when you did that video about that dilapidated house on Oak Street. I did. And I'm going to tell you why I did. It wasn't to throw shade on him. It was to identify him being a part of the legislative body that has been in office since I've been identifying some of the things that I've identified. That don't just fall on him or the other trustees. It falls on the person who's still currently the mayor. It falls on Tiffany too. So it's the whole legislative body. I'm not trying to play no games about sparsing my words concerning, the ups and downs, the yay or nays about them, about Hobson Jordan, any of that. Talk to me about me and what I think and what my views are. Ask me. I always want to keep it above board. I always want to keep it 100. And I feel like if you are really serious about getting past all the smoke and mirrors, as I've said before, and I'll continue to say again, if you're really serious about getting past all the smoke and mirrors, at the end of the day, you'll understand what someone's trying to communicate with you. You'll understand where I'm coming from. That's for sure. About trying to communicate with you about the things that we feel we can come to yes on concerning the village. It's some one-on-one stuff that should be discussed, figured out, taken care of. And then there's some in the weeds things that some people just don't have privy to at this point because they're not a part of the legislative body that's been doing the business of the village or trying to do the business of the village for so many years. And so there's just some things that you have to figure out when you jump in there. It's pretty simple to figure out potholes in your street, figure out, uh, what are the different times that you can call to ask for assistance in your community versus, you know, how will the tax code that currently exists for the village benefit the residents in Dalton if it stays the same, or should the tax code be changed? How is it that taxes continue to creep up year after year? Is it simply because there's businesses that are not coming in putting into the village, or is it something deeper than that? And again, a lot of people have those answers. I don't have those answers, but I'd like to be a part of those solutions concerning those questions because I do believe that not only in Dalton, but all over the Chicagoland area, all over Illinois, all over in this nation, we're paying too many taxes on things that we're not seeing the benefits for. So that's where I stand on that. Um, for those who've asked me for interviews, I'll just simply say this: I'm open, I'm available, and I'm welcoming anybody who wants to um, have an interview with me to talk about my views or my ideas. Uh, what I what I have tried to steer clear of is all of the clickbait that's out there um, concerning the election. I'm happy to give my views. I'm happy to give my opinion, but I'm not interested in throwing shade on anyone. I'm not interested in arguing in public about anyone just because their views are different from mine, or their methods and tactics may be different from mine. I said it before. I'm not anyone's roadblock, and I'm nobody's yes man. A lot of people feel like, yeah, yes, you are, because of who you're on the ticket with. That's not the case. Get to know me, have a conversation with me, ask questions in a respectful way, or you don't have to show any respect at all. That just doesn't that just tells a lot about who you are. It doesn't tell you a lot about me, because you're looking for a certain reaction. You're gonna get the same reaction from me. I'm easy like a Sunday morning on a lot of things. So I do things with intent. I do things with respect, and I do things um, that's solution based. I try to be as forward thinking as possible. Like before I threw my hat in the ring to run for trustee, it wasn't about trying to beat somebody out. It was about trying to make the area that I live in a better place. As I continue to learn about the area, I'm over 2 years in now concerning my community. And in that time, I've seen that there's some things that could use some changes. And that's where I'm coming from concerning why I'm running for trustee in Dalton, April 1st, number 7. Go ahead and punch that. All right. Did some door knocking today. We got the yard signs out. Um, Again, I'm trying to recover from the surgery that I had a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now. Let's see. Yeah, so it hasn't been an easy road. I get winded easily, right? But I'm trying to build my stamina back up. I was out knocking on some doors, putting some yard signs in, and felt great doing it. I think I stopped at a good time to recoup. I don't believe I pushed it too much, but I'm looking forward to getting back to 100%. My 100% is going to come in the April-May timeframe. So I'm able to walk and move a little bit better. But again, still I'm healing from the inside out. So I got to take it easy. I got to take it slow, and I can't push as much as I would like to. So a lot of people have wondered where I've been concerning this campaign, or what I've been doing, how I've been participating. And all I can say is as much as possible. I'm doing my best. I'm not going to push it. Um, we call it light duty in the military. I'm still in a light duty status, and I'll be in a light duty status for a while. But I pushed it out here to be in front of you to do the show. I'll keep pushing. If I don't feel good, I'll just make the phone call and sit my butt at home. So, but I'm pushing, trying to get things done, trying to be a part of the campaign. It means the most to me right now because again, it's about something bigger than me. Someone said, "Hey, you should just quit. Do you really need this? Your health is more important than anything else." That I agree with, but I do understand and realize that you have to be a part of things that are bigger than you, and without risking too much concern in my health. I feel like I should still be a part of this campaign because I feel like I do have something to offer. I do have something to offer that hasn't been seen yet. And again, the only way that you can show what you're made of and show people what you want to be a part of is simply by keeping your hat in the ring to participate with something that's more important than yourself. Now, whether it's politics, whether it's family, your job, Certain situations call for you to dig down deep and be a part of something bigger than you, as something that's bigger than you, concerning the outcome or the goal. You should always take care of yourself so that you can put yourself in a position to take care of others. And that's simply where I'm at with it. Not only do I try to practice that with this campaign for trustee, but I try to practice it in my daily life. The reason I say try is because there's nothing perfect. We're always striving to do better, to be better us's for others. I've said it before. You know, you have to check your circles, make sure that your circle is giving as well as receiving, and you have to be the best you for you because I believe that that's what attracts others to you. Too many times we we hurt ourselves by trying to be the best that we can be for others around us. So we exert ourselves, we use ourselves up, we abuse ourselves, we abuse others, trying to please others. And I believe that the proper approach, it's simply being the best you that you can be for yourself and having other people attracted to what that looks like for them. You should know what that looks like for you about you. Discovering things about yourself is a wonderful thing. Um, Making decisions that are more black and white and not living in the gray, as I've said before, that's a wonderful thing. And when you get to those different plateaus in your life, again, I believe that other people are simply attracted to those moods, those methods, and then they can add to your existence, your cause, your purpose, your reasonings. And as they discover what they discover about you, they can work on themselves and be the best that they can be for themselves. So I just feel like that's really, really important to highlight. I want to talk about matching energy. A lot of people have seen, whether it's social media, TV, what have you, a lot of people talk about matching energy. Hey, you know what? You dished it out the way you did. I'm just matching your energy. I'm just matching your energy because you had an attitude about something, and now I'm going to match your energy. And I believe the purpose of that is so that other people can understand. Oh, okay, this is how I'm putting things into the universe, or this is how I'm confronting this situation or dealing with this person. I'm going to say I don't believe that it's um, always advantageous to try to match someone's energy. Think about it. If somebody's being negative and nasty, and you elevate to their nastiness, or you elevate to their negativity, what are you all both putting out there in the universe that's doing anybody any good? Because you're nasty to me, I'm gonna be nasty to you. Uh, Now, I can understand that if you're coming from a certain space, I believe it's advantageous and very necessary for me to understand where you're coming from and calculate the best way for me to handle that energy. But it's not going to always be met with the same measure of negativity that you're trying to put out there to me or somebody else around me. So matching energy, I don't believe is always the right thing to do. I believe that there are times for that type of um, solution. But if you're walking a higher plane and you're on another level, when you match someone's energy, it's not always elevating to where they are. It's actually, stooping down to where they're coming from. And that's something that I'm choosing not to do. A lot of people want me to match the energy about all these um, people who are saying I need to choose a side. Uh, and I'm constantly saying, "Hey, I'm for the people of Dalton." Well, you need to choose a side. Well, I'm team resident. So again, you're not gonna get me to go low with folks that want to rant and rave and talk smack, talk mess about someone that's brave enough or dedicated enough or humble enough to try to do the work of the people on whatever side. Tiffany got elected because someone thought that she could do a job. We saw how that turned out. That doesn't mean that everything that she did was all for naught. Are there some tangibles? Mm, yeah, you could point to some things. Could more have been done? More always can be done. I'm not going to point at the trustees. I'm not going to point at Jason saying, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, they ain't did a dang thing in office." I don't believe that that's necessarily true. But you're not going to get me to go low and start talking smack about them. And lastly, when it comes to the person that I'm running with, um, Hobson Jordan, man, you're not going to get me to talk smack about that woman. There's a lot of conversations that have been had that other people have not had the opportunity to hear or know about. At the end of the day, you don't like a delivery. Hey, I get it. There's a lot of things I don't like about her either concerning her delivery, but I like her vision for the village because I believe that she's on to something. That's why I signed on. I believe that she's on to something. I believe that she's transparent enough for you to know where she's coming from concerning the solutions that she has for the community. Again, we don't agree on everything and we don't do things the same way. But at the end of the day, if you want to talk politics and talk about what's best for the people, then look at what's being offered. Look at what's being offered. But again, matching energy is not always a good thing um, for parties involved when you're being expected to match on the level that they're coming at you. So I feel like it's important again to elevate and uplift and approach things from an intellectual perspective, an advantageous perspective, so that solutions could be um, identified and handled in the midst of all the noise and all the smoke and all those things. So matching energy um, with the same type of attitude, with the same type of energy is not always the best thing. Again, I believe there's times for it. I absolutely do. I believe there's times for it, but I think that we should look beyond the cliche. It's being used as a cliche uh, most often, especially during these times, from our legislators, from from our elected officials. It's a shame that we don't get to the business of the people. It's a shame that people sign up for something that they know is full of BS. It's a shame because they are doing it, and this is my opinion. It only makes sense. They're doing it for personal gain, or they're doing it for their group of people that they want to represent, their constituents that that they want to represent, separate from the good of um, the majority. So I think legislators have a difficult job, um, not only writing but enforcing policy. Not only writing and enforcing policy, uh, coming up with budgets that are viable for um, solutions in the community, but they also have to articulate that to everyone, both sides. Um, so legislators have a tough road to go. I believe everybody wants what they want. Um, a lot of people are coming with an agenda that's um, maybe a one way agenda because they believe in it, not necessarily because they're set on doing so much wrong, but they truly have conviction about what they believe. And to have a legislator caught in the middle of strong opinions and ideas, um, it's very challenging to try to articulate solutions for people who are so passionate about their position concerning a certain idea or a certain subject. For me, if I'm put in the position to help legislate um, things in Dalton, my position will be a position of understanding everybody's views and opinions about how passionate they are. Hopefully, Anybody who brings anything to my table, I'll be able to sit with them and talk to them about the best things, um, about the best ways to handle different things. You know, a wrong idea is better than no idea at all. A wrong decision is better than no decision at all. I've been taught that for decades, and or I've, I've heard that for a long time. But um, to understand that phrase comes with um, a lot of instances where you actually have to make decisions. So if you have no decision at all, if you have no choice at all that's ever been put forward, then that choice can't be looked at, tweaked, improved on. If you have something that's considered a wrong decision or a bad decision, then at least you have something to work with where you can craft something of substance to um, to answer questions or to handle a certain situation, or move forward with certain solutions. You can craft that. You can make that. You can mold that to what the people would need for that to be. So that's what makes sense to me about making some type of decision. And so I would absolutely, um, I would absolutely want to sit with those who don't have the same views or opinions. Maybe there's something that they can teach me, and there's something that I can teach them about why um, I feel the way I feel about certain things that uh, ultimately we all would believe it's good for the village and good for the people. So at the end of the day, whether I agree or I don't with other legislators, if they're in the business for the people, then they're gonna come to a viable decision that's better for the people. They're not gonna, just sit back and allow their egos to continue to swell and grow and talk about what they've done, about beating on their chests about certain things because you had a victory for a group of people over here, but as a whole, the village isn't doing well. That's not really a victory for the village. That's ego getting in the way. That's pride getting in the way. Instead of coming to the table with all of those concerns and trying to figure out the best way forward, everybody's not going to like the decisions that are made in the outcome. In the end, that's not how it works. But you have to respect somebody's view and opinion if the majority wants to go with something that you don't feel is necessarily advantageous to what you're trying to get accomplished. So just thought I'd share that, and that's how I feel about that. But um, whether it's the politics or whether it's what you're doing in your daily life, I think it's important to be 100. Be the best you for you. Do the best that you can do for yourself, thereby putting yourself in a position to do the best that you can do for others. So just wanted to share that. And again, just to reiterate, got to be careful when you talk about matching energy. Stay on the plane that you are, stay on the level that you are, and be the best you for you so that you can keep moving forward in a positive way. And eventually, a couple of things will happen. People will recognize where you're at and what you own, and they'll add to what your purpose is, or people will recognize what you own and they'll stay clear from you. They'll leave you alone. You're not their cup of tea. In the end, you still win because you didn't go low when they went low. You didn't match the energy that was negative for not only you and that individual, but everybody around you. So um, that's my opinion about that. The Denasha Harrison Show is here on Intellectual Radio. I'm here Wednesday from 8 to 9. What I would like to do is take a quick musical break, and then when I get back from that break, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show. So you're listening to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Talk to you in a minute.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the mental dimensions, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following the war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. With the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community in the sword. If the only way to fight an enemy, Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water.
Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. If you're just joining me, I talked a little bit about the politics in Dalton. I talked about matching energy and just all around talking about what the positive things should be concerning what's going on, not only in the village, but, what's going on in the community, what's going on the politic level, not only locally, but nationally. So talked a little bit about my health as well. So I really appreciate folks for joining me, supporting me. Uh, I'm attempting to line up the guests that I've had on the show before I ended up leaving to to take care of my health. But I had Tony Hoover on the show um, a few weeks back. Well, now going on a couple of months back, and I want to get him back on the show because he talked about growth and development, and I believe that growth and development um, was an important topic to talk about. Um, Talking about his father being incarcerated, I thought was an important topic. Growth and development's doing a lot of things of lately um, in the community, and we want to highlight that. We want to talk about that. We want to make sure that we keep that going. So, hopefully, next Wednesday, I'll have Tony Hoover on. I also would like to get Nurse Erica back to talk about women's health and men's health as well. So I'll be reaching out to Erica, Nurse Erica, and a couple other people. We like to have guests in studio. It's a different vibe, and they have a lot to bring to the table. So hopefully we will have some folks lined up for you so that we could talk about other things that matter. So, thank you for joining me on the Denasha Harrison Show. Next week, 8 o'clock, I will be on the show talking about things that matter. If you have something that you feel matters to you that you want to talk about and you want to hear on the show, please feel free to give a call while I'm in studio. Call 708-223-8953. Or after the show, you're welcome to call 224-800-9719. You can also leave comments here on Intellectual Radio or YouTube or Facebook. Leave comments in the comment section about what you would like to hear about, and then we can go ahead and tackle that and have those discussions. Okay. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting. I'm leaving a little bit early, but I'm trying to work back up to an hour as much as I can. This is the Denasha Harrison Show on Intellectual Radio, where we feed your brain. And thank you for joining us. We will see you next week on the Denasha Harrison Show. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This dimensions, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following the war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. With the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With community in the swore. If the only way to fight an enemy, Lord, save my father from this bottom of Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me, and for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe, and there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's in trouble.
I'm being chased by demons that triple team these